Ferris. For good representation, voters vote for Clint Ferris. Vote for Clint Ferris. A leader strategic, courageous, yes, fearless. And you vote, 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 vote.
It's a rough time. Now, I met Mr. Ferris at the Moravian Church in Frediriksted. And I want to tell you, that's one of the things that have me standing behind him, because he believed in God. I am an Anglican Episcopalian, and I see some of my Anglican brothers and sisters in here tonight. But I also go to the Moravian Church. And I go to the Moravian Church every Easter Sunday morning, because I went there from a child with Miss Maya, Jeanette's mom. That was my adopted mother. And so she used to make the little sweet rolls that we will have for the fast. So my job was, I had to go there and help her make them, and then I had to go to church. And I've been doing that ever since. Didn't do it this year because of the social distancing, but I have not missing a mass. And every time I go, the one just come back in the door, she's always there. And Clint, and they're there 6 o'clock, the sunrise mass, and we go over into the cemetery. That's the only tradition that I see. That church is the only one that has held up that tradition. I'm a strong Episcopalian. My grandfather used to be in charge of the Galilean fishermen, which is the honor businessmen that were here, the candidators and all of them. They would gather, they go to church, they would come to Frediriksted, they would have their sessions. They had the lodge, the building that's the lodge in Frediriksted. My grandfather gave them the property to do that. He was the pastor when people died. When the brothers died, he would be the pastor. And when he passed, they had Mr. Richards, Ron Richards' father. He became the pastor. I'm giving you the history because we have lost it. Our children are no longer allowed to pray. But I tell my children and my grandchildren, you're going to pray. When you come to this house, you say your prayers before you go to bed. You say it when you get up in the morning, and it's grace before meal. And I don't want to hear no mumbling. You must say it so I know you know. When you get in the public, hang your head. You don't have to say it for anyone. But that is one of the reasons why the children are strayed today. We have strayed away from what we should have been doing. And I want all of you in here, maybe that children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, you all need to start talking to them. Make them pray. We got tough times coming in this Virgin Islands, whether you all believe it or not. You see it happening on the streets already. Too many of the young men and young women, we're burying our children and our grandchildren, and we need to stop. And that's one of the things that I like about Clint. He's been out there with the retirees, he's been out there with the seniors, and he has not forgotten from where he came. A lot of us, because of this technology, they want to throw us old folks at the side, but they ain't gonna throw me. Because I'm not stronger than a lot of times. And so every morning, I have a lot of deficiencies now, because you know I was a police for 21 years, worked for the Navy for 7 years. I've been through a hard time because I buried my brother at sea. That's my younger brother. And then I had Jeanette, which is my older brother. Okay? So you see the generation, we're losing. And we're losing our history, and we got to stop. We got to put a full stop at it, and we got to do it fast. And that's why I'm supporting Clint. Because I know he's well-rounded. He looks out for everyone. He has already proven that he does what he needs to do for the community, not for the pocketbook and the money and who's popular and who will dress better than who and who will show off more than who. That's not it. We tried that, it didn't work. We got to go back to basics. Okay?
So vote for Clint Ferris. For good representation, voters vote for Clint Ferris. Vote for Clint Ferris, a leader strategic, courageous, yes, fearless. Are you vote, 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 vote? Are you vote, 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 vote? Vote for Clint Ferris. Vote for Clint Ferris. Are you vote, 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 vote? Vote for Clint Ferris. Number 7 on the ballot, and me King can say so.